Live in Caledonia, Todd.
Well, Charles and Courtney, you can see that crews are working very quickly to get these tracks cleared. Syrian panicked after seeing security agents hit the ground. Without his shoes, he ran and hid. That's when Ciancia confronted him. The party is still rolling here in downtown Milwaukee. Take a look. That's when his wife had to jump out and run to get salt at the house to keep the car from sliding back down. Stunned family members tell me the 16-year-old was just walking to the store. Police aren't saying anything about what happened here this morning. Just about a block away, you can see that the high school here is full of families that have been evacuated. These are just a few of the hundreds of people that have already signed this petition asking ChemWorks not to open here. This is traffic drivers in Milwaukee haven't seen for years. We hit traffic just south of the Mitchell interchange. Mike and Carol, it is a miracle no one was hurt by a flying bullet.
She must be devastated, Todd.
Yeah, no doubt, Mike and Carol. Teresa Mooney's phone woke her up in the middle of the night. On the other end, her daughter with the news that broke her heart.
Anthony's gone.
Teresa Mooney never expected a phone call like that. Her daughter, Tiffany Hedrick, telling her mom the love of her life was dead.
This was her soulmate. Yeah.
Hedrick is the fiancé of Anthony Rose, one of the 19 firefighters killed in the Arizona wildfire. The couple is expecting their first baby in the fall. Mooney saw the tragedy unfold on television, but she thought her future son-in-law was home safe.
And she says, no, he was called back out. Him and the crew, the whole crew. They're gone.
Rose was one of 19 members of an elite hotshot wildfire crew who died Sunday. Witnesses say a wall of flames trapped the firefighters, leaving them no time to escape. Mooney knows she's not alone in her grief.
I pray for all of them that are going through this. It's a hard time for everybody.
As she rushes to support her daughter, she has a message for the father of her future grandchild.
Watch down on Tiff and your baby. Stay by him, and he will.
And Mooney said there is no word on funerals at this point simply because it's too early. Right now, she wants her daughter to return to Racine, where she and her future grandchild can get the support they need. Sheriff's deputies were back out here today after investigating reports of a possible second attack here at Lake Park. Now, it comes just a couple of days after a female jogger was attacked just about a block away. Sheriff's deputy vehicles were on the scene shortly after a new report of an incident with a jogger this morning.
Yeah, I'm a little paranoid.
Kateri Keller runs along Milwaukee's lakefront nearly every day. Hearing about a second possible attack at Lake Park has her worried.
I don't wear headphones anymore.
Police say this man assaulted a woman while she was jogging along the Oakleaf Trail at the park on Wednesday. He's described as about 6 feet tall with blonde, curly, shoulder-length hair and jagged teeth, possibly in his 30s. The woman said the man approached her on his bike, grabbed her and fondled her. The jogger fought back and got away. Police aren't saying anything about what happened here this morning, just about a block away from that first attack, or even if these incidents are connected.
This is crazy busy, especially with all the students who park along the way.
I usually will have like a pepper spray with me, or if it's dark, and I try to stay in an open space.
Kateri Keller tells me she's skipping her run in some areas of Lake Park for now.
I would never go on one of those trails like in the dark or at dusk.
And Chile police are asking for anyone who may have information on that suspect in that photo that we showed you, as well as any of these cases, to give them a call. They're also asking anyone who may be out here to be very aware of their surroundings. On your side, live at Lake Park, Todd Hicks, today's TMJ4. This is a story we've been looking into for the last several weeks. The controversy was stirred up after mall management said they were moving the bus stop away from the mall's entrance. What it means for riders is a much longer walk.
I mean, it's kind of hard to walk that far.
Norman Shirley plans on shopping for a new shopping center. He said what it takes to get to Southridge Mall on the bus is just too much.
I got a bad leg.
Shirley and other riders now have to walk from the edge of this parking lot after the mall's owner relocated the stop.
That's too far to walk for some people. I kind of feel sorry for some people that they're in the wheelchairs.
Mall management wouldn't do an interview, but told us it was moved to improve pedestrian safety. They even painted a path in bold yellow lines. I wanted to see how long it would take bus riders walking from the new bus stop to the mall entrance. This man was one of the few to follow the marked pathway. I timed him on his walk from the new stop. By the time he reached the entrance at Sears, a walk that used to take just over 60 seconds now took just over 4 minutes. It took even longer for this woman. From the bus to the mall took her just over 12 minutes. A struggle Shirley said will be even harder in bad weather and with shopping bags.
It'll be pretty tough if you don't got a buggy with you.
And you can see just how tough it is, those bus riders having to walk all the way across that parking lot to get back to the bus stop. At this point, I'm told the county is exploring its legal options on trying to get that bus stop moved back. We're live in Greendale tonight. Todd Hicks, today's TMJ4. The shutdown of I-94 creating a traffic nightmare. Drivers even taking drastic steps to get off this highway of hell.
Don't go this way. Trust me.
I'm glad my car is at home in the garage.
It's this gridlock on I-94 that has Jim Timmerman on 2 wheels this weekend. The Milwaukee man knew the closure for construction would be bad, but he never thought it'd be like this.
Yeah.
You wanted to scope it out. What do you think?
I think it's a mess.
This section of I-94 at Rawson has been closed off in both directions so crews can install a new culvert across the interstate. Some drivers scramble to escape the chaos once they hit traffic. This driver was pulled over for driving on the shoulder. This one ignoring a construction worker and driving around the orange barrels. This is traffic drivers in Milwaukee haven't seen for years. We hit traffic just south of the Mitchell interchange. Fast forward an hour later, we're just approaching the airport spur.
This is horrible.
Drivers in most cases were averaging just a couple miles per hour when they were moving at all. They weren't shy about warning others about avoiding the interstate completely.
Just don't even come here. Find a different way.
Timmerman is taking the advice one step further. You're going to stick to 2 wheels for a while?
The rest of the day and probably even next week.
The DOT says I-94 could open Sunday morning sometime around 9 a.m. At College and I-94 tonight, Todd Hicks, today's TMJ4.
Todd.
Well, Charles and Courtney, you can see that crews are working very quickly to get these tracks cleared tonight. Now, what is so alarming about this incident is early signs point to the extreme weather for sending these rail cars out of control.
When it gets super cold, tracks can get brittle and crack.
It's the reason Railroad Commissioner Jeff Plagley says a section of this 2-mile-long freight train derailed. 19 of the 135 cars ended up in a twisted mess of metal.
Usually if a train goes off the rails, it stays upright. It's just a matter of getting it back on. This is a little more unusual.
This is video shot by Chopper 4. Several of the cars carrying coal came to rest feet from collapsing on a 5-mile road. For now, they appear to be stable.
There are no train cars that are in danger of falling off the bridge, and the integrity of the bridge right now appears to be fine.
An off-duty firefighter on his way home from work came across the accident. The railroad says the conductor didn't call for help immediately because no one was hurt, there was no hazardous materials, and it wasn't blocking the road. The commissioner says the railroad has a good record of checking these tracks often.
This is a very busy rail, so they're pretty active about making sure that their busiest rails are well maintained.
Definitely a scary incident for those people out here. Now, those rest of those cars were detached and continued on Sheboygan. I'm told that work here tonight is expected to last nearly all morning long. We're live in Caledonia tonight. Todd Hicks, today's TMJ4. Abigail Kobriger says her life changed forever on her recent Florida vacation. The memories of what would happen taken by a very famous person.
It's still very emotional.
Abigail Kobriger can't hold back the tears after a marriage proposal from Tim Schlosser last week. Tim didn't tell Abigail what he had planned to do on that Florida beach. He just needed someone to take the picture. Who he ran into next, Tim calls fate.
I know that guy. I could just tell from the build and from about 100 yards away. And it's Mike McCarthy.
Stunned and starstruck, they asked McCarthy for his photo. Then this.
I asked him, I said, could you take a picture of us? And she's like, what?
The Packers coach was about to take the picture. Tim made his move.
Coach, hang on, I got one thing to do. I pull out the ring, I get down on one knee.
You can see the shocked look on Abigail's face. Tim says Coach McCarthy had a slightly different reaction.
In his kind of unique voice, he goes, "This is cool. This is really cool."
And he didn't stop with a few shots. The coach snapped 30 photos for the couple to remember their day. Not on the frozen tundra, but the white sands more than 1,500 miles away. On the scale of marriage proposals, 1 to 10, where does this rate?
20.
And the couple tells me they don't have a wedding date set just yet. They're still pinching themselves about their chance encounter. In the newsroom, Todd Hicks, today's TMJ4.
With more in this story, Todd.
Well, Stephen Carroll, the president of ChemWorks, tells me he was shocked by the backlash surrounding the company's possible move to Menominee Falls. It has him so worried he let us do something he's never allowed before to show exactly what they do inside.
Our business is not stinky. We run a very, very professional operation.
It's how ChemWorks president Mike Malatesta describes the wastewater treatment company he runs. He says his company hasn't been given a fair shake by neighbors who live near the proposed plant in Menominee Falls.
They have in their mind this sort of smell of a landfill or a rendering plant, wafting through the neighborhood. We don't have that.
Malatesta wanted to show neighbors why his company is clean. You have never allowed cameras in here before.
No, we haven't.
He showed me how this green bubbling waste is transformed into nearly clear water. It's done with filters and monitored by chemists.
I thought it was important for people to get a view of what it actually looks like inside the plant.
Malatesta claims the smells at the Milwaukee plant have vanished after this biofiltration system was installed in 2012. He said the new site will be a good fit for ChemWorks.
There's a chemical distributor, there's hazardous waste facility, there's all kinds of heavy industrial type operations there that are doing all the right things.
He insists that means no smells or problems for the people who live nearby. And the neighbors have told me they don't care how clean this company is. They simply just don't want them there. We're live on Milwaukee's west side tonight. Todd Hicks, today's TMJ4. Oh. Charles and Shannon, it's easy to see just how slick this road is. Neighbors, including Richard, tell me they're afraid someone will get hurt if this street isn't cleared of ice and fast.
Feel like you're trapped in your own home. You can't get out. You can't go anywhere.
It's this street that Richard Sales says looks more like an ice rink that has him frustrated and fed up.
It's dangerous.
The Waukesha man lives on Hayborn Court near Oakdale and Highway 59. The city street is covered in some areas with ice an inch thick. Sales tells me the salt trucks haven't been here for days. He keeps calling for DPW to fix the problem without any luck. Richard tells me his street is so slick he could only get his car halfway up the hill. That's when his wife had to jump out and run to get salt at the house to keep the car from sliding back down.
It's dangerous, especially coming down the hill. If you slide too fast, you're not going to be able to stop and you're going to go into that house.
It's that dangerous scenario that had Alderman Aaron Perry calling today's TMJ4 back. He tells me he would talk to DPW to make sure it gets done. Sales has a message for city leaders he says could save lives.
Just take care of what you're supposed to. I mean, salt these streets.
Definitely some important advice for people who live here, and I'm told by that alderman that this street could be cleaned up and salted as early as tomorrow morning. We're live in Waukesha tonight. Todd Hicks, today's TMJ4.